Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are ready to deploy, so let's go ahead and do so. We've got a good amount of C-bills right now, and so I'm perfectly comfortable being this is not very difficult. Okay, our options are limited. Good to know. There's a blackout mission here, a target acquisition, another target acquisition, an assassinate, a battle, and a defend base. Okay. That's not amazing, if I'm honest. Our options are very limited by what was generated here. That's for sure. Okay, I think we're going to run this one. It is the hardest available mission. It's a defend base, so I mean, there's a particular time limit on it, which is always kind of convenient. There's no free priority salvage here. How much is this? About 500,000 C-bills, approximately. I think we'll run right down the middle. That'll be fine. All of our mechs are good to go. All of our mech warriors are as well. So we probably want to bring the Fafnir in place of... what? The Corsair. Yes, definitely the Corsair. Panzer, you don't have Fafnir affinities, do you? No, you do not. Okay, who does? Brother. Sounds good. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. This is the most challenging mission currently available. It's not a particularly challenging mission, I think, although I didn't look. Who's the op for? If the op for is Comstar or Word of Blake, this could get complicated. We'll see if it is. I'm actually not sure about that. I definitely didn't look at it. There could be a lot of enemies in that case. We'll see. And if that's the case, then this will probably be a 2-episode mission just because of the amount of time each round will take. If there's like 18 or 24 enemies, it'll be pretty lengthy. However, I'm planning for this, assuming it's not that, I'm planning for this to be a 1-episode mission. We'll see. And I'm not planning for this to be tremendously difficult. I'm thinking, I mean, it's a defend base, so we know airstrikes aren't possible, right? That was a change that was made fairly recently. In defend base missions, airstrikes do not happen, presumably because your base gives you air superiority over the region or something. But for now, we need to defend the base. It is defending for Comstar. Okay. We have a small disused base in a remote part of Alula Australis. We need it and are preparing to reactivate it. We'd like to hire you to recon the facility and defend it until our forces can move in. We'll have a lance with you in half a day and a logistics team within 24 hours. Okay, we're against Karita. It shouldn't be too bad then. Commander, if they're hiring mercs to babysit when their forces are less than a day away, they expect trouble. Rumors say Karitan forces are in the area. They could present a threat.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, so, Karita. Sounds good. I should have checked the op for before we agreed to this, but it's fine. Yep, Karitan and Comstar chatter. So, one of our lances was hit and suffered 50% losses. Yeah, they're spawning down over here. And they're carrying the hardware activation keys, so they have to make it up over this way. Now, where is the enemy vanguard? Here. Got it. So we probably want to spawn over here so that we can move down this road fairly quickly, is my guess. Something kind of like this? Sure. Okay, so this is the vanguard force here. And the Comstar forces are moving up. The Apollo position's here.
Standing by.
Okay. So, if we reserve past, they're going to hit the rear arc of this Apollo. With a Mauler, a Hatamoto Chi, a second Hatamoto Chi, and a Sunder. That's probably okay. Let's go ahead and reserve until this unit moves. The Hatamoto Chi here. We'll see what it does. Goes through the rear arc of the Madcap Mark II. It gets a through armor destruction on a double heatsink. Okay. Well, that's fine. Is it actually going to move up? It is. Is that a location that we can hit?
What's up, boss?
Not exactly. Okay, we're going to have to continue to reserve. The Death Strike moves up, and the second Hatamoto-chi moves. It's going to hit the Death Strike in the rear arc again.
Careful.
Oh, it's actually going for our Mauler. I didn't realize we were basically all rear arc. Okay, well, that doesn't really matter that much. We're going to start moving here in a moment. This should be a much more accessible location
Good to go.
where this Hatamoto-chi is. Yes. So we're going to move our Salamander out over here.
Acknowledged.
We are going to Warlord, and we're going to fire on this Hatamoto-chi with AX rounds. There we go. Good amount of armor strip on that Hatamoto-chi. How much do we actually get? That's actually a lot in the CT. Okay, good. So the Fafnir at this point can make its way up over this way. It's going to be a little bit suspect how much damage we can actually get done here. The question is, why are we this low? Sprinted target moved. Okay, he still does have the 4 there. I think we're going to go ahead and fire this in X1 mode. We managed to hit our friend a little bit there, but we got a structure exposure on the Hatamoto-chi. I'm sure it's fine. So the Bull Shark is, at this point, going to drop artillery. Well, we need to turn around. We're going to drop artillery on this Sunder.
Copy that.
Excellent. What we'd really like to see is this Hatamoto-chi being unsteady, but unfortunately that has not yet happened. That said, the Boar's Head moves right now, so we're just going to turn the Boar's Head, and we're going to also drop artillery on this Sunder. We want to be in high explosive ammo. That should definitely make him unsteady. In theory, right? Yes, the Hatamoto-chi is unsteady. Their Mauler moves up. Gets heavily AMS'd. I like it. 14 out of 14 hit by AMS. Okay. So, at this point, do we move the Mauler or do we move the Longbow or the Madcat Mark II? The Mauler is not... Well, actually, the Mauler is able to get into a firing position here. So we'll fire with the Mauler. Oh, that is one dead Hatamoto-chi. Okay.
Should have run when you had the chance.
So next up, we're going to try to make this Sunder unsteady, probably.
Standing by.
Assuming that we can get LOS on it. We kind of can't. That's a whole lot of no LOS. Okay, we're just going to move up here with Madcat Mark II then. And I think we're going to drop some missiles on this Hatamoto-chi.
Target applied.
Little bit of damage there. It's not ideal, but it'll do.
You.
The Longbow is also not going to get direct LOS. So let's just see what we've got here. Actually, much better hit odds on this Mauler. So we'll go ahead and take that, strip some armor off of him. Excellent. Okay, so now this Sunder moves. Fires rear arc on the Death Strike. Does penetrate the armor there. That's to be expected.
Reporting heavy damage.
You're fine. It's the Madcat Mark II that is, not our Madcat Mark II. It's the other Madcat Mark II that's not doing so well. We're going to move up here with our Annihilator. We do have the LRMs. And we're just checking hit odds here. The Sunder is the best hit odds by quite a wide margin. So we're going to go ahead and Warlord. And we're going to strip some armor off of that Sunder.
Target confirmed.
Excellent. Okay. So next round.
Commander.
The Salamander is going to move up over here, or maybe we'll just stay exactly where we're at. Yeah, we're going to fire AX rounds again. We're going to break through this armor, though. Do we want to fire improved rounds here? It's got an XL engine. We're going to fire improved rounds.
Affirmative.
And there we go. That is why we fired the improved rounds, for the increased damage into that engine. Excellent.
Commander.
Our Annihilator is going to walk up over here,
Affirmative.
and we're going to fire on this Hatamoto-chi. We're going to fire, I think, in cluster mode. We're interested in armor strip, so that'll be fine. Good armor damage there. The Hatamoto-chi will move now. It could get the kill on this Death Strike, but it went for the Annihilator instead. An interesting choice, to be sure.
Took a hard hit there.
And then moves down into this crag over here. That's not hugely helpful for us.
Waiting on you,
The
Commander.
Mauler is not going to get LOS. We'll just sprint up over
Got it.
here for now
Max
and sink
speed,
heat.
No shooting.
Okay. We're hoping that didn't get as far as I'd hoped. I was hoping that it would go to the escort zone, but it
Yes,
did not.
Commander.
The Fafnir is also not going to get LOS. We're just going to
Full
sprint up.
throttle.
Okay.
Waiting for orders.
The Madcat Mark II, can we get any LOS over this way? No. No, we cannot. So we're just going to position up over here. And we'll check for our enhanced LRM-15 hit odds. Mauler it is.
Target.
Little bit of armor damage there.
Standing by.
The Bull Shark is going to target the Mauler because we want to be a little further away. Okay, so no splash damage over here. That's sad, but it's okay.
Ready for orders.
The Longbow is going to step over here to make sure that there's a path through here. I'm pretty sure they're fine, but okay. So now we're going to fire on that Mauler yet again, strip even more armor off. Okay.
I'm here.
And the Boar's Head actually can't move here. We're going to careful maneuvers to step the Boar's Head perhaps up over this way, but I think we're just going to step back
Okay.
over here.
Let's go.
And we're going to drop our artillery on this Mauler.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what the Mauler does. Backs off and doesn't shoot.
Heads up.
Interesting.
You've
So
got
now the
hostile
additional
contact.
enemies are dropping in. We see some over here. There may also be others in another direction. So this is a Crab and an Atlas. Out over here. We also see behind us a Ghost, a Grigori, a Dragon Slayer, Victor, and a Catapult. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
So obviously we don't have the greatest of hit odds over this way because these guys just dropped in. What do we think about taking a rear arc shot? I'm not the biggest of fans about taking a rear arc shot here, but we could think about it. I'm going to reserve. The Apollo moves up and is just outside of the escort zone. Okay. So that's one of those rear arc attacks.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Now, AMSing did happen there. That was the Grigori. And it moves up. Okay.
I hear
At this
ya.
point, we now have a target. The Mauler could go for their Mauler. Or we could turn around and come out over this way. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn around,
Coordinates received.
position to fight these guys that dropped into our rear arc. So we're going to hit this Grigori as hard as we can,
Tell me what to shoot.
which will be fairly hard. Unfortunately, it won't kill him. In this leg? Okay. We don't know what's in that leg. So phase 16, they're going to move their Ghost and their Catapult here. This could really hurt our Longbow. Although their Ghost didn't attack,
Waiting for orders.
which is interesting. The Fafnir is going to close in over here,
Move to position.
and we can hit either of these. Hit odds are far better on the Mauler, and so that is what we're going to take. We're going to fire the UAC-20s in X2 mode. That's a lot of damage to the Mauler, but it's not dead yet. It's pretty close, though. This catapult moves up, fires its arrow 4, which gets AMS'd. Beautiful.
You've got nothing. You hear me?
That's fantastic. Okay.
Good to go.
So the Madcat Mark II, I think pretty much has to turn around and come over this direction. We can fire on the Grigori, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to Warlord to boost our hit odds a little bit here, and we're even going to fire Listen Kill.
Firing a full salvo.
Okay, so that's a lower leg destruction there.
Reporting critical hit.
And the Grigori is unsteady.
Standing by.
The Annihilator, I want it to come up over this way and fight these guys. So it's going to position
On the
here.
move.
Now, it will also eventually be able to fight this Crab and Atlas. I do think that there's 2 other units out here that we don't see just yet, but we'll see. We're going to fire on this Mauler, and I think cluster ammo is probably fine, right? But we might be better off on this side arc with Slug.
Firing on target. Score to critical
That's a
hit.
lot of heat. Okay. So, the Mauler's not dead from that, but he's basically dead. Okay, they fired on the Annihilator there with something. It got AMS'd. There's a catapult out there. Good to know. The Death Strike moves up, goes for the catapult, and gets some good armor damage on it. Actually, a structure exposure. That's pretty solid. So what do they do next? Phase 14 is the Hatamoto Chi. It moves up and melees the Fafnir. I wish we could see what was going on there.
Showing.
Okay, that was a charge. Good to know. So we were knocked down.
I'm wounded.
Okay, that's fine. This Hatamoto Chi is quite exposed here, and we're actually far less exposed.
no.
The Boar's Head is, at this time, going to move back to, like, here. This is unfortunately within minimum range of the Grigori. I would like to find a location that's further back. Unfortunately, this is the best we've got. So we're going to position over here with the Boar's Head. Can we fire on this direct fire in minimum range? No. So we're going to need to fire on a different unit if we want to do that. Probably the catapult would be the one that we'd go for. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
This might hurt.
Okay, that's a lot of damage to that catapult.
Critical hit, command.
So that's a knockdown. And an arm destruction.
Watch the heat.
Okay, sounds good. So next up is going to be our Salamander. The Salamander is obviously coming over here. And I suspect we're going to fire AX rounds at this Victor. Although our hit odds aren't great on that. We could fire improved rounds and go for crit fishes on the Grigori or the Catapult. And given the armor, I think the Catapult is the one to go for. I don't want that Arrow 4 to go off. So let's just see what we get here. And there we go.
Enemy
So 1 down. They have a phase 13 mover. That is, of course, the Victor. He fires on the Apollo over there. Doesn't really get that much done, but that is a structure exposure. And that's fine.
Orders.
At this point, our longbow is going to turn around over here. Now, this isn't ideal to hit the Grigori, but that's okay. We could also go for the kill on the Mauler, but I don't think that's worthwhile. So we're going to fire on the Grigori here. We're not going to fire the ELRMs, just the enhanced LRMs.
I copy.
So that's a leg destruction,
Reporting.
and an engine crit as well. So the Grigori gets knocked down,
Awaiting orders.
and the Bull Shark is going to want to fire on one of these. Probably the Dragon Slayer would be the best bet here. So that's going to be what we're going to go for.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Excellent. Very good damage to the Dragon Slayer there. And that was also some heavy damage to the Grigori. They're firing at this building over here. That's okay for the moment. Okay.
Waiting for
So
order.
the Salamander is going to close in here again. And we are absolutely going to hit this Dragon Slayer as hard as we can with AX rounds. I want to strip off maximum armor here. And actually, we just straight up kill it. I didn't expect that, but we'll take it. So there's only 2 mechs left over here.
Awaiting orders.
The Annihilator is going to walk up here. And we're going to kick this Hatamoto Chi. And I don't think we want to Warlord here. I think we just kick. Do it.
Moving to position.
So we successfully hit with the kick. That's excellent. We got a lot of flank damage there and made our way through that armor.
What can I do for you?
The Mauler is, I think, going to move in over here and go for the kill on the Grigori.
Affirmative.
Yeah, this is a pretty guaranteed kill here. Excellent.
And stay down.
Okay.
Ready for orders.
Next up is the Badcat Mark II, which is going to position here where it can hit the Hatamoto Chi.
Coordinates received.
We are not going to Warlord, because that's not up, but we're going to hit this guy and do some crit fishing in this torso.
All weapons.
Nice. So the Hatamoto Chi is out of here.
That's a kill.
Now, was there a structure
heavy
exposure
damage.
on the Fafnir? No, there was
Lots of
not. Okay. So the crab is up here along with that Atlas. We don't see anything else up here yet, but I'm still expecting that there is something. The Fafnir is going to walk in over here,
Acknowledged.
and we're going to hit this Mauler. I think that this is pretty much a guaranteed kill.
Roger.
There we go. 1 dead Mauler. So the Vanguard is out of here.
Mech destroyed.
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
up is our Bull Shark. Do we want to hit the Ghost? Probably not. I think that we want to turn around with the Bull Shark and fire on this Atlas. I'd like to get some armor shred on that. Oh, we even got some splash damage on the crab. I like it. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to go for. The Boar's Head will turn around, and we're, of course, not going to be firing our LRM for heat purposes here, but we are going to be firing both of our artillery if we can. It's a small overheat, but we're going to be less overheated, so let's go give that a go. Not good shots there with that artillery at all.
My performance.
Okay, so this is what, their Ghost? Yeah, this is their Ghost. Moves up, shoots at the Salamander. That's completely fine. No problem there.
Standing by.
The longbow is going to stop, or rather step in over here, not stop in. We're going to hit this Ghost, but we're not going to do too much damage to it. We'll just see what we get
Locking
done.
for an alpha strike.
That was okay, I guess. Now our turrets are online. Now that we've dealt with most of the problem. And at this point, I believe the Atlas is moving. Not doing much of note there. Okay, they got some damage to that Ghost, including some internal damage, but I think that was stealth armor destroyed. That was a good crit, actually. Really solid. Okay, so that's a Catapult K2 over here by the Atlas. Good to know. And that's a Shiltron. We did know that that was over there. So we want to eliminate this Ghost with our direct fire weapons as quickly as we can so that the turrets can focus out over here. That's really good, though, that the turrets are actually shooting at this Shiltron. I would prefer that they were shooting at the Atlas, but it's better than nothing. I mean, they destroyed the Chiltron, so we'll take that. I really would have preferred that they shot at the Atlas, but it's fine. So the crab moves up over into this ravine.
Commander.
Our Annihilator is going to turn around over this way, and we are going to fire on this Ghost. Now, our hit odds are low, and they're always going to be low. We're going to fire cluster rounds.
Taking the shot.
We did crit the light PPC there. And we made him unsteady, but he's going to move again in,
Target's
like,
taking a critical
basically instantly. Yeah, he's going to move now. We'll see what he does. Armor's low. Closes in. Goes for the Salamander. Doesn't hit anything. And he didn't move very far there. So that's actually really solid for us.
Let's do this.
Our Salamander is going to stay exactly where it's at. We're not firing AX rounds here. Improved is the way to go. We're not going to fire the medium lasers either.
Roger that.
LRM ammo explosion there into multiple engine crits. So he lost his evasive, and he's very close to dead. The Fafnir is going to turn around. We're probably not going to fire the UAC-20s. Yeah, we're out of range. So that's fine. We're just going to fire the MRMs and see if we get crits. At the very least, it should be a knockdown. Yep, there we go. And actually, pilot incapacitation. Sounds good. So there's that dealt with. Now the Mauler is going to start sprinting up over this way and sink its heat. There we go.
Got something you want
The Madcat Mark II wants to come up over this way. It doesn't get LOS from up here. I was hoping that it would. But we can lob LRMs from here onto the crab. That'll do.
Roger that.
Okay. The K2 going for that building. Not getting much done at all. Our artillery turrets are going to do some serious work, though. There's no doubt about that. And our longbow is going to position up over here. We're just going for whatever we have the best hit odds on, which will likely be the crab at this time. Actually, it's the Atlas. Okay.
I copy.
Well, there we go. We'll see what the Atlas does here. Closes in, so it's closely... It's staying pretty close to that catapult. Interesting. I feel like it shouldn't, but it is. Reasonable artillery hits there.
Nothing in here.
The Apollo moves up, does nothing of note.
Standing by.
The Bull Shark is, of course, also going to hit the Atlas. Not the crab. Not the catapult. The Atlas.
Roger that.
Mediocre hit with the Long Tom, but it's okay. Okay, let's see what our artillery turrets do. The Death Strike moves up, doesn't do anything. They're going for the K2. That's fine. Okay, going for the crab here. And that'll get some armor damage. I mean, the crab can't withstand that for too much longer. The catapult, I like it. Okay. So next up, the crab moves.
Receiving you.
Our Salamander is going to turn around and head up over this way.
Got it.
Most of our mechs are not useful right now, but that's okay. 4 rounds until reinforcements. The Apollo moves up, doesn't do anything.
I hear ya.
The Mauler is going to move up and also isn't going to do anything.
Pedal to the metal.
Okay. The Fafnir is going to head out over this direction. Likely not going to get anything done for a while anyway.
Yes, Commander.
The Annihilator can head out and does have its LRMs, so let's see what we can do here. 46, 30, and 30. Crab it is.
We'll go.
Okay, we broke through the armor there.
Critical
Not
hit.
too bad. The Atlas backs off a bit from the K2. We'll see if the K2 closes up with the Atlas there. The Magcat Mark II is going to move up, and it's going to fire its LRM-15s at this crab.
Firing on target.
Okay. Just some armor damage there, but that crab doesn't have much armor left. The Catapult K2 stayed put. Okay. So they're a little spread out at this point. That's fine.
Aye, aye.
Our Bull Shark is going to continue to lob artillery at the Atlas at this time.
Wilco.
Nice, we managed to hit both. I like it.
I'm here.
The Boar's Head is going to be out over here,
Affirmative.
continue to sink its heat, and we're going to continue to fire on that Atlas.
Yeah. Die.
Okay, once again we managed to hit both of them there. So that's great.
Commander.
Our longbow is going to position up over here. The longbow is going to go for the kill on the crab. We would absolutely love for this to happen.
Confirm.
We're going to overheat. And that's a kill on the crab. So the turrets are now going to be forced to focus over here.
Engine critical.
We failed a shutdown override at that heat level? Okay, that's fine. No big deal. We knew that that was a risk. The catapult ejects. All that's left is the Atlas. And we're through its armor. Okay. The Apollo moves up.
Yes, boss.
Our Salamander is going to sprint on in.
Confirmed.
There we go.
Aye, aye.
Our Annihilator actually gets LOS here.
Roger that.
I'm slightly surprised by that, but sure. Like, these are actually solid hit odds, too. Do it. Into its weak side. This could be a kill.
Target.
Gauss rifle explosion there.
Scored a critical hit.
Okay.
Ready.
The Fafnir can close in, but it doesn't get range. That's not surprising.
Ready.
Okay,
Get
the
it
Magcat
on.
Mark II, I don't think is going to get LOS. Actually, I'm wrong. We do get LOS here. This is a kill. I'm like 90% sure that this is a kill. It doesn't matter the amount of actual damage that we do with his braced and cover. We're looking for crits here. We took out its gyro.
Gotta hit something good.
So it's a knockdown, but it's not quite a kill. Okay. Well, he will die very quickly here. The Mauler is going to sprint up over here. It doesn't get LOS, but it's close. The Death Strike moves up. It doesn't get LOS either.
Awaiting orders.
But the Bull Shark has LOS.
Taking the shot.
And the Atlas has, like, no armor left. Okay, we didn't get a direct hit there, but that's fine. The Boar's Head moves up. And once again, artillery goes in. There's a torso destruction
Better that.
and an ejection. So that's that. Fantastic. Let's get out of here. So the question, of course, becomes, do we want any salvage from that? Well, that's a good question. Was there really anything that we want? I don't know. We got basically enough raw cash there to pay for our month financial report, so that's great. We only took a small amount of damage. That wasn't bad, all things considered. For that being the hardest difficulty that was available, it wasn't that bad. We could go for some catapult parts. I don't think that's worthwhile. There's a Gauss Rifle M7 here. We do have one of those. We could maybe take a second. Couple of UAC-5s. Couple of Engine Core 300s. That might be worth taking for resale value. Or a couple of Engine XLs. Are those worth more? They are. So if we want to resell, we should take the Engine XL. There's also a couple of gyro melees. We don't melee that frequently. So I don't think I'm that interested in that. We don't get meleed that frequently either. So I think we'll just go with this. We're going to sell these large laser Intex. Clan LBX AC-10 we can keep around. We don't need these medium lasers. We don't need the MML. We don't need the SRM-6s. The Engine XLs, of course, we were always planning to sell for 500,000 C-bills. Heavy jump jets, LRM ammo, and tandem SRM ammo. We only have 1 ton of that. We'll keep that around. And a couple of crab parts that we can probably get rid of later on. Okay, sounds good. So how much damage did we end up actually taking? Not that much, in my opinion. I feel like this is probably 120,000 C-bills on the high end. I wouldn't be surprised if it was lower than that. But yeah, that's like the high end of what I think it will be. We really didn't take that much damage. Although, the Fafnir got charged and knocked down, that did a lot of damage in that one moment. So the Fafnir alone is going to have a pretty high amount of damage. So yeah, maybe around 120-ish. Let's see what we've got. 180, okay. Yeah, that's because of the Fafnir getting punched. For sure. How long is it going to take to strap all that armor back on? 15 days? We're probably going to deploy again without the Fafnir, is my guess. We can probably get 2 more deployments this month, and our funds are doing wonderfully. So that's probably what we're going to look to do. It is past time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll get some of these repairs done and head out again. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.